step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Take a deep breath and dive right in. It's a brand new day. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to your feel-good kickstart to a brand new day. My name is Graham Richards. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday morning. We are ready to rock and roll. It's going to be a full breakfast basket, if you will, full of entertainment. Chef Clem, and I've been told to say this exact word, he's going to dominate in the kitchen this morning with heritage-inspired dishes. And this morning we make Chakalaka. Doesn't get more, I think, South African than that. We absolutely love that. Then Makaola Ndebele, who is the director of the La Vavula Cultural Fiesta, is going to join us to inject some heritage into the show this morning. She's going to connect with us via video call to share some of the unbelievable beauty of celebrating heritage in this amazing country with some song and some dance. Great way to do it, as well as how you have put the festival together and acknowledge, of course, COVID-19 and what that means to this time. But we will still find a way to celebrate. And why are we celebrating this morning? Because you have an opportunity to win, and win big.
Oh, absolutely. The best part of the show is not only that you're informed, entertained, but you also get to win big with Tropica this morning, and this is all including travel. So on our social media platforms, we're asking you, if you got to win big with regards to travel, where would you go to and why? Please do let us know. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. You guys already know my answer. I would move to Croatia. I'd travel to Croatia, Serbia, Belgrade. Hello, hi. Also, Jamie Domberg reporting live for duty on this Wednesday. Remember to connect with us on all our social media platforms. We love to engage with you throughout the show. 6 to 8, keeping you entertained, informed, and also winning big with Tropica this morning. But right now, let's get on with the order of the day and find out what's happening in those news headlines with G.
Thanks so much, Jamie. Let's start here in South Africa, where the National Economic Development and Labour Council has agreed to an economic recovery plan for South Africa. This following a meeting yesterday between President Cyril Ramaphosa and Nedbank, the latter comprising of representatives of government, business, labour and community. The details of the plan will be announced once it is finalised by Cabinet. Now, commenting on the agreement and the commitments made by social partners to implement the plan, the President said it was a great achievement that rises to the challenge of the moment. And staying in South Africa, Eskom has now secured farmland valued at an estimated 2.5 billion rand as security for debt owed by the Machabeng municipality in the Free State. It said this in a statement yesterday afternoon. Eskom said in its ongoing efforts to recover more than 3.4 billion rand in unpaid debt owed by the Machabeng municipality, the municipality had agreed to hand over to Eskom 139 farms belonging to it as security on the debt. The title deeds of the farms will be endorsed in favour of the power utility until the debt dispute is finalised. Then on the international front, but still very much connected to the continent, novels by Zimbabwean Tsitsi Dangaremga and Ethiopian-American Maza Mangiste have both made the 6-book shortlist for the prestigious Booker Prize. Dangaremga's This Mournable Body is a sequel to her 1988 book Nervous Conditions, and Mangiste's The Shadow King focuses on the life of an orphan as Italy's forces threatened to invade Ethiopia in the 1930s. Last year, it was British-Nigerian writer Bernardine Evaristo who became the first black woman to win the prize for her book Girl, Woman, Other. And previous African winners include South Africa's Nadine Gordimer and J.M. Coetzee and Nigeria's Ben Okri. Then the news of an amazing finding. The immaculately preserved remains of an Ice Age era bear have been unearthed by reindeer herders in the Russian Arctic. The bear was revealed by the melting permafrost, completely preserved, with all internal organs in place and even its teeth and nose intact. The bear is thought to be a species of brown bear that lived some 22,000 to 39,500 years ago. Russian scientists said the discovery was unprecedented. They said the bear was the first and only of its kind to be recovered in one piece with soft tissue still intact. Then bringing it back home, the mother city reaches for the stars once again. Cape Town continues to attract international attention, even though South Africa's borders currently remain closed to international travel. Against the backdrop of serious concerns about the state of the tourism industry, Cape Town Tourism has expressed huge delight in the announcement that this leading destination has been nominated for a number of accolades in the prestigious 27th Annual World Travel Awards, which serve to acknowledge, reward and celebrate excellence across all key sectors of the travel, tourism and hospitality industries. This year sees Cape Town nominated across an impressive 5 categories, namely Africa's leading beach destination, Africa's leading business travel destination, Africa's leading city destination, the continent's leading festival and event destination, and Africa's leading meetings and conference destination. The CEO of Cape Town Tourism, Enver Dermany, says votes are cast by both travel professionals and consumers, with the nominee gaining the most votes in a category named as the winner. He now urges everyone to vote before the closing date on the 24th of September to keep the mother city a top tourist destination. Hopefully soon the borders will open to boot. Well, that's where we lose our news headlines, and we now start to track our sporting headlines. Take it off with athletics. South African Olympic champion Wade van Niekerk beat Jochem Dobbe of the Netherlands and Poland's Karol Zalewski in a 400-meter race in the Gala del Castelli at the Municipal Stadium in Switzerland yesterday. The 28-year-old made his long-awaited return to the sport after recovering from that knee injury and COVID-19. Van Niekerk won the race in a time of 45.58 seconds. Then on to football. A second-half hat-trick by forward Elazar Rogers and 2 other goals confirmed an impressive 5-1 win for Ajax Cape Town over Chakuma Mazuvundila at the Bidvest Stadium to top the 2019-2020 Premier Soccer League promotion relegation playoff standings yesterday. So TTM sit at the bottom of the standings behind Black Leopards in second place. Ajax and Leopards will now get ready for a crucial match on Friday. And staying with football, but on an international stage, Barcelona's captain Lionel Messi became football's second billionaire after topping Forbes' rich list this year. So Messi beat Juventus star, striker and well-known rival Cristiano Ronaldo with earnings of $126 million. That was from his Barca salary and $34 million from sponsorships and other sources. Ronaldo is in second place, though, with $117 million earned. And Paris Saint-Germain's Neymar is third with $96 million. So clearly it's tough out there. That's where we leave our sporting headlines for now. Jamie's got the latest on the weather front.
Oh, absolutely, G. It's midweek, and you know what that means. It's almost, well, sort of, kind of, okay, just about nearly the weekend. Let's get the day started by checking out your stunning sunrise pictures. This one comes from Angel Ledwaba, did not hesitate to share what seems to be a dim sunrise picture captured in Jozi Maboneng. Now, Johannesburg, you start off the morning with a low of 14 degrees and will reach an afternoon maximum of 28 degrees. We now shift our focus to the Western Cape with JP Malherbe, who captured a gloomy morning in Robertson. You will also enjoy a mostly sunny day with temperatures ranging from 9 degrees to 19 degrees. Thank you so much for your sunrise pictures. Believe me when I say we absolutely love seeing them. Please do continue to share them on our socials and we'll show them live on the show. Now, Northwest Africa has of late experienced severe weather conditions caused by much higher than usual seasonal rain. Now, more than 500,000 people have been affected by severe flooding in Ethiopia, with some places recording the heaviest downfalls in a century. The levels of the River Nile have also been at their highest in 100 years. At least 200,000 people have been left homeless by the floods, which have swept through at least 5 of Ethiopia's 10 regions, killing livestock, destroying crops and damaging homes and public infrastructure to an extent not experienced in decades. Now, neighboring Sudan has also been hit by severe flooding. More rain is forecast for the area during the next few days. Now bring it back home to have a first look at the temperatures for the country. Starting off with Polokwane, your low is 15, peaking at 30 degrees. Umbombela ranges from 16 to 30. Pretoria, your low is 16 with a high of 30 and a 40% chance of rain this morning. Johannesburg, 14.28. Mahikeng, 9.30. And if you find yourself in Klerksdorp today, your minimum temperature is coming through with 6 and a high of 28. Kimberley, 4.25. Bloemfontein, Bloemfontein to 23, Richards Bay ranging from 18 to 29 degrees, Pietermaritzburg 8-24, South Africa's Playground coming through with a low of 15 and a high of 23, Mthatha ranges from 8 to 25, East London for you, your low is 12, peaking at 23 today, Cradock ranges from 3 to 24, the friendly city of Port Elizabeth PE ranges from 9 to 19 degrees, George coming through with a low of 10 and a maximum of 20. And if you do find yourself in the mother city, Cape Town today, your temperatures range from 10 to 16 with a 72% chance of rain. Worcester, 7-15. Sutherland are, my dear friends, coming through with -2 and peaking at only 13. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington with a low of 0 and a high of 23. But of course, whatever the weather, wherever you find yourself, please make sure to keep it locked right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Now let's see if we can get you excited looking at some of those sunrise pictures. Maybe that makes you want to get out and explore our beautiful country. Well, fortunately for you, Tropica is giving you the chance to win some pretty smooth travel-related prizes and a whole lot more, in fact. So you could be winning with Tropica's Smooth or Not Smooth competition, and this is exactly how you enter. So your first point of call is you've got to buy any Tropica promotional pack with a red cap. Flip the cap, and in it you will find either smooth underneath that cap or not smooth, and then you stand a chance of winning. So if you don't find smooth, simply just flip again. Keep trying until you find the word smooth. Once you've found it, then follow the details on the pack to stand a chance of winning very smooth instant prizes like headphones, mobile phones, travel vouchers. We've got return local flights, we've got watches, we've got sunglasses, and a whole lot more. Plus, you stand a chance of getting into this week's draw. Our weekly grand prizes are amazing, and we'll do it live on Expresso every Friday by flipping a cap on the wall to see if you are going to find a smooth prize like a TV, a washing machine, a fridge. All of that is up for grabs. And the first live draw is going to be going down this Friday. So go and get your Tropica to enter. The more Tropica you buy and find smooth, the more chance you have of doing this. Let's see if we can find smooth in our first attempt. So sad you don't, but then you try again, and who knows, you just might be winning yourself a brand new TV. It really is that simple. So go and get yourself a promotional pack of Tropica right now. Start flipping that cap, and hopefully you will find your smooth.
Are you smooth or not smooth? Buy Tropica. Flip the cap. If you find smooth, you stand a chance to win smooth prizes. Tropica, nothing smoother.
You only have one skin. Nourish it and wear it bravely.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Hey.
Do the shimmy. It's the birthday shimmy. I challenge you not to dance when you hear that happy tune, because it is your birthday and you should be dancing, you should be singing. At least you should be getting out of bed on the right side this morning if it is your special day. We love this segment. We get to connect with so many viewers wishing you a happy birthday. And if it is your birthday today, let's find out who you share it with. None other than Nicholas Jerry Jonas. Hey, otherwise known as Nick Jonas. What a cool kid, man. And he is a kid. I can't believe he's only 28 years old. He's married. He's a cool guy, man. He's really cool. Obviously an American singer, songwriter. He's also tried his hand at acting. He's the triple threat, Joe. Rose to fame as a member of the famous boy band along with his brothers, the Jonas Brothers. And then after the band split, Nick embarked on a solo career and has done pretty well, delivered a well-received self-titled album. He's now married to the unbelievably beautiful Priyanka Chopra. They had one of the biggest weddings ever on the planet, I think. And they seem so happy and lovely, and they're a model couple. And he was on a reality show as well, so you got to kind of get to know him. But it seems like the coolest kid.
But I still can't get him out of that, like, boy.
Really? Well,
yeah, I can't see him.
As they say in reality shows, it's his real house.
It's a real house.
But cool guy, and you get to share your birthday with him. Let's see who else is celebrating today.
Absolutely. This one reads, happy birthday to the mother of my beautiful friend, Masande Pekinini. I pray that God blesses you with all the happiness in this universe. Have an awesome birthday from Major League coming through on your special day. And then a happy birthday to Adila Bester and Sumila Reynard. May you be blessed with many more years of good health and happiness. We appreciate everything that you do for us. Enjoy your birthday. Lots of love from the Bester and Raid families.
And then a happy birthday to my friends. It's a group party. Linda Sauls and Hilary van Wyk. I wish both of you a blessed day. May God bless both of you equally, from Elaine and Jerome. Then happy 20th birthday to Emil Keister. I wish you God's richest blessings on your birthday. Enjoy every bit. That's coming to you from your auntie Amarantha Biesel. Or is it Biel? Biel.
And then
Jammer auntie.
Jammer auntie. And then a happy second birthday to my beloved princess, my beautiful daughter Khadija Bibi Khan. May Allah bless you always. Your mommy loves you very, very much. Look at that face.
Oh my goodness.
And then we would like to wish Elizabeth McKaya happy and blessed 46th birthday. We thank our God for the grace that he bestowed on your life and wish you more health and wealth for many more years to come. We love and appreciate you, and this is from your loving husband Rodney and awesome children Roderick, Bronwyn, Reno, Markwyn, Brittany, and son-in-law Cameron.
It's a family.
It's the
Mama
Yellow
Bear's
family.
got a family. Happy birthday to all of you. Thank you so much for sending those birthday messages. But we want videos, guys. Please WhatsApp us a birthday video to 071-640-6551. All of that talking's made me hungry, so I'm going to dip into this. But you know what I really feel like? I feel like a little bit of Mexican inspiration, okay? Bribe Roki's cool. I want something slightly different this morning. I'd like a quesadilla, maybe a tortilla, something with a bit of spice this morning. I'm hoping Chef Clem, who says he's going to dominate in the kitchen this morning, can whip up something special for us. Until then, we enjoy our yogi, okay? Cheers.
But you know Chef Clem, of course, that's what he does, dominate in the kitchen. Good morning, South Africa. Uncle Tabsy here, reporting for duty. And first order of the day, first call of the day, to step into the kitchen and make some magic with Chef Clem. Can you speak, Chef Clem?
No, we're 5 seconds of
silence.
Okay.
There we go.
There.
You know, 5 seconds on TV is a long time.
It's money.
And on this particular show, a very, very expensive amount of
Especially
time.
when you're in the segment, the people know that. People pay more for Tabsy to be on the...
It's true.
True story.
But let's face it, bread brookies are great. Yes, those brodies that you eat, the breads that you eat at the bars, they're great. They're fantastic. We all love them forever. But of course, sometimes you need to just shake things up a little bit, especially with the weekend coming up. I mean, it is coming up. We already start talking about it now. Chef Clem is going to be making some delectable bride sweet corn quesadillas. Not quesadillas, not quesadilla. Quesadillas. Quesadilla. It must sound romantic.
You must.
Quesadilla.
I dig it. I dig it.
Clem,
Talk to
look at
me.
Quesadilla.
Quesadilla and jalapeno. It's just food.
It sounds like we're saying, I love you, I love you.
It is. Okay.
But this is really fantastic. So you really are putting a spin to the ordinary broadies. Is it broachies or broadies?
Brokies. Why make me forget brokies? So what we on Monday we made the braai brokies, but I thought like let's play around with it, let's have fun with it.
Yeah.
I've got this new thing that I'm going to be doing now because of all the braai gatherings I missed out during lockdown. I'm making up for it now. So we're braaiing during the week. We're allowed to. New rules, okay?
Okay, I like that you just constantly reinvent these rules because for me, they work in my favor and I'll always say yes to anything you say
but
or do.
also 2020 is a year of just making up your own rules because, hey, it's 2020. Do your own thing.
First of all,
within reason.
Yeah,
within
also,
reason.
2020 actually spun its own rules on us, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. I dig it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about creme fraiche. Creme fraiche it's French. The name is French, but all it is a cultured cream, which means they let it kind of thicken naturally, and you get this beautiful tangy cream.
Wow.
Right now in Mexican cuisine, they use a lot of sour cream to cut through the other flavors. A lot of smoky, sweet, spicy flavors. So that sour cream flavor works so well with it. We're gonna use it today in this quesadillas. Okay. So I've got these beautiful flour tortillas. Now normally I would toast them over the flame. We know that.
Yes, I've seen you do that. Sometimes I've even seen you like spin flames out of those pans.
You know what? Thank you. I just try. So instead of toasting it over the flame today, we're actually going to toast it in our griddle pan.
Oh, nice.
And that's going to give such a smoky flavor.
And does that then mean it just also sort of grills slower?
Well, no, you're going to have to keep an eye on it.
Manageable grilling.
But what we the reason for it is we kind of want to toast the tortillas like with a sandwich in the middle. So everything that's in the middle kind of like warms up, starts melting, gets delicious and ooey and gooey.
Yeah.
I've got these corners from Willie's and these are amazing on the braai.
I mean, come on.
They are so amazing on the braai.
Look at that.
And add a little bit more flavor by just popping it directly on the flame and just charring it. What you get once you char it nice and black is you get this, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of, corn is naturally sweet inside. It's called sweet corn. When you do this, the outside goes a little bitter, a little charred, changes flavor, and it adds more flavor to what would normally just be a piece of corn.
Nice.
Right, so we're adding flavor as much as we can. I think that's enough heat in there. And look how quickly that happens. You would do this on the braai.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You would.
So that's done. We got our corn, and I also like doing the creme fraiche first because it kind of acts as a glue to hold the corn in place.
Oh, yes, because then it doesn't fall out all over the place.
Look, if it falls out because it is a braai and it is a grill pan, you're going to have to flip it over. It's fine. It's okay.
Okay.
Like, I mean, look at that. The guy
just said we're making our own rules here.
We're making
our own rules. It's the
2020.
year of making your own rules. But we've also done a bit of rule making on our website on expressoshow.com.
Tell me about it.
The rule is giving everybody the opportunity to access the best recipes. When they are inspired by us making those recipes in the kitchen, they can go on the website, expressoshow.com, find the recipe, and the rules are simple. To follow the ingredients, make sure you've got the ingredients. That's the only rule there.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
Crispy onions are what you actually get in the pack with the corn ribs. I'm putting that inside, and I'm gonna put it on top as well. And then what have I got? I've got everything. We got a little bit of tomato. Tomato is also great, but be careful because tomato gets super hot on the fire.
But it also releases water.
Yes, so just be careful with that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we're good. So you can chop it up a little bit. Be rough with it. Don't be precious about this right now. Keep it chunky, okay?
Don't look at the tomatoes and say quesadilla.
No.
Go a little bit rough on it.
There we go. A little bit of tomato, a little bit of salt, all the time. Then straight onto your griddle pan. And what you want to do now? Actually, this is the one time I don't mind you leaving gaps on the end.
Okay.
Because things are going to start melting, things are going to move around, right? That's perfectly fine, so don't stress about that. Look how rough I chopped this tomato. The disrespect so early in the morning.
Yeah.
Was that? Even Graham's like, it's okay, it's fine. Okay.
Graham's yelling, dominate.
We're doing our own thing, okay?
Yeah.
So, we keep our eye on it. This griddle pan is nice and hot, so kind of replicating the braai grid. And what you're gonna do?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Those lines from the griddle pan, I mean, they add so much character to it.
So much flavor.
You know that you are literally, number one, you're going to be having a really flavorsome meal or dish.
Look how quick that was.
That was really quick. I got a bit nervous there. I thought something was going to go wrong.
I could hear in your voice, you were like,
ooh.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is just give it enough time on the grill, on the braai grid. Enough time to melt that cheese that's inside there. This is happening so fast today. Oh, it smells good. Here's the one thing that I see people do when they use wraps. They use the wraps just like this, which is perfectly fine. It does its job.
Yeah.
But once you toast it, you release so much more flavor in your wraps. And I also find it's easier to work with the wraps once they've been toasted
I
slightly.
think it even looks better. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have a look at the final product, which is what your end result should be looking like, look at this. This looks like you are having it out in Mexico.
In Mexico, absolutely.
Honestly, you are traveling, you're on holiday, you've been served this at a really 5-star resort or a hotel, and you're going to enjoy this one. Go on expressoshow.com, find the recipe as well as all the ingredients that you're going to need. But this looks absolutely amazing, and it's packing a whole lot of flavor, perfect for the spring and summer days that we're embarking on right now. This is really perfect for a switch up of those Saturday and Sunday braais.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a crowd pleaser, and people are going to love it. And the only way to know if it's going to be a crowd pleaser is I have to be pleased first.
Okay, go
as
for it.
everybody knows, I like to brew, and then of course determine if this is...
I was going to say there's some jalapenos inside there. I'm going to put jalapenos on top of mine.
Stunning.
You fine with the spice?
Yes, I love the spice, and I
We
can
come
see them
for
there.
the
Okay,
spice.
cool.
How's it taste?
Fresh, summery, and also quesadilla.
Oh, wow.
Ne?
I dig it. I dig it. A bit of fuego in there.
That pop and that zing that's coming through from the jalapenos is really all the magic that you're going to need. But if you missed any of the steps involved in bringing this amazing, amazing switch up to a bride to life, take a look at this recap.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
The cold winter months can be tough on kids' very sensitive skin, making them feel dry, irritated, itchy, and especially for those with more severe dry skin conditions like atopic dermatitis, also known, we've learned on the show, as eczema. So we're going to chat to pediatrician Dr. Hanneke Haynes on how to manage and care for kids with dry skin conditions. Doctor, very good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Very well, and you?
Very good. Great to connect with you this morning.
Are dry skin conditions, especially the more severe cases such as eczema, hereditary?
That's a very good question. You know, genetics can definitely play a role, But what is really interesting, it's actually a very interesting interplay between environmental factors and genetics that leads to this condition. There are 4 allergic type diseases, and the one is eczema, and the second one is food allergies, asthma, and allergic rhinitis, or hay fever as it's known. And if any one of these 4 conditions is present in the parent, the tendency to develop allergic disease is what's inherited. So a child can then have eczema, even though the parent never had eczema.
Wow, so there is that genetic crossover, if you will. So what are the signs, and I speak as a parent here, what are the signs that we should be looking out for when it comes to these types of conditions? Are there kind of any early warning signs?
These babies have a very, very dry skin, generally from birth already, and it's a very sensitive skin. So the parent might notice that this baby, if they eat certain things, the skin gets worse, or if they use certain products, the skin gets more dry. The skin is very dry and it's very itchy. These babies are irritated. They often wrap their faces into the pillow because that's where it often starts on. And then as the child grows older, the typical kind of red, inflamed rash appears. And that's a very, very itchy rash. Initially, it's all over the body, and then later on, as the child grows older, it goes typically into the skin folds of especially the arms and the legs. But any skin fold basically can be involved as well as the face.
Is it a phase that some kids may go through, Doc, or does it stick with them for life?
Well, the good news is that about 2/3 of children outgrows eczema after the age of 6 years. So it's only about 1/3 of children that is stuck with this for life. It generally does get a lot better.
So I suppose the most important question then would be, what do we need to do as parents to manage and treat these conditions during the winter, especially very dry winter months in most of South Africa, but all year round, I suppose?
Yes, there's different factors that can enhance the skin condition. And it's interesting enough, winter, yes, but summer as well, and the extreme heat. So when I'm talking to parents about the treatment of eczema, I normally show them a pyramid. And the most important part of the pyramid is the bottom. It's moisturization with emollients. Now, the right types of emollients are emollients that doesn't have any perfumes, any colorants, any irritants in it. And it's extremely important that the parents moisturize at least twice a day, even more if possible. So feed the skin, constantly feed the skin. I always say the skin is like a wall that is consisting of bricks and cement. And in children with eczema, the cement is crumbling and this wall becomes open. So there's a lot of moisture that escapes out of the skin. And the skin is dry and sensitive. And then anything that doesn't normally irritate skins can enter the skin. So a perfume or a colorant irritates the skin and makes the rash worse. So after moisturization, the second most important part is washing the skin with the right products. And we're not talking about washing with soaps. It's more emollient. So we want a kind of a cream-based wash that's especially designed, or you can even wash with the emollient yourself and not use any soaps because soaps irritates it even more. And then when we're looking on the third layer, there is what we call repair creams. So these are special kind of creams that is designed to help repair that skin barrier. And the skin barrier is that wall that has got the bricks and cement. So it helps to repair the cement and keeps the moisture inside the skin. And this is a kind of a cream that goes especially on the dry rash areas. And then only last is the prescription creams that comes into place. And the prescription creams are your typical cortisones or steroids. And then there are a couple of other kind of creams that's also non-steroidal that can help with the inflammation. So that's only the last part. So if a parent doesn't moisturize very well and consistently, there's no sense in just using your cortisone creams because they've got side effects.
And I would add to that, dads, you can think about shaving off your scruffy beards as well. That seems to have an effect on my little one. Doctor, thank you so much. Some wonderful insights there. We really appreciate your time and your thought process on the matter. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was lovely to talk to you.
Dry skin conditions can be tough on kids' young, sensitive skin, especially during the colder months of the year. But with the right tools and skincare products, dry skin conditions can be managed. Dexerol skincare range is formulated specifically to treat dry skin and conditions such as atopic dermatitis, giving your skin the love it deserves.
Do you have dry skin caused by hand sanitizing? Keep the moisture balance with Dexerol, scientifically proven to restore dry skin. Dexerol, evidence makes us.
We're also doing a demo with you now.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live on Expresso. Follow that beautiful sound, that little baby's laughter right the way to your TV, because it's time for a little baby talk. And today we're going to be discussing the difference between colic and reflux with chiropractor and old friend Dr. Mike Marinus. And today we're going to be getting some advice, a little bit of a demo as well, on how we can ease our little one's discomfort. Mike, I can't tell you how good it is to see your face, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. It is wonderful to be able to see you as well. Thank you very much for having me on.
A bit of
really awesome.
a full circle moment here. Great to see how successful you've become in your practice as well. And we're going to be having an important discussion this morning. I think this affects a lot of parents, certainly someone like me who's got a young baby as well, but so many parents out there battling with what we have termed to be colic, which does cover a broad spectrum, and then of course reflux in that. And I think some people have even said that colic is just a term that we use, that it's a westernized term, that some cultures don't even believe that colic actually exists. But we know that it covers a broad range of symptoms that basically show that our baby is in discomfort. But maybe you can break it down for us and give us the difference between colic and reflux.
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest or the easiest way to understand it is colic is something that babies do and reflux is something that babies have. So colic is when a well baby, and we're talking about a baby that is well fed, they are no infections, they are growing fantastically, they're all intents and purposes doing so well. But for some reason, when you hit that early evening, they cry inconsolably for 3 hours, and we don't know why. Come back negative. Whereas reflux, we know that it's food that's moved in through the mouth, down into the stomach, but instead of carrying on through its tract, that food now starts to move up, back past the diaphragm, back into the throat, and potentially up and out of the mouth.
I think for any parent, if they find themselves in a situation where their child was crying for 3 hours non-stop, they might be prompted to want to see the doctor. But what are some of the warning signs that they sort of need to look out for that scream, see the doctor, see the doctor?
Yes, absolutely. There's some stuff that's normal, there's some stuff that's not normal, and we really want to get checked out very quickly. So the first thing is if there is losing weight. We want those babies to be able to track properly. They must, in those first couple of weeks, be picking up around 200 grams a week. If they're not doing that, we definitely want to go and see the doc. If there's a fever involved, because fever has nothing to do with colic or reflux. Also, if we have projectile vomiting, so what we're talking about is all the food you put into baby's mouth comes pummeling back out again past your shoulder onto the wall. And then obviously if there's any blood-stained anything, blood-stained stools or any blood-stained vomiting.
All right, before you fill us with absolute fear, I mean, you're not a parent unless you've got some kind of, vomit or something on you. Yeah. We know this, but it really can push both parent and baby when you're dealing with kind of 2-3 hours of crying and you don't seem to know what to do about it. Do you have any recommendations based on your experience, what we can do for our baby who is exhibiting signs of what you've described as colic?
Absolutely. So I've got a little Isabella here. She's going to help us go through 1 or 2 little tips and tricks that I like to give you. So the first one is to get out as much air as you can, as many burps as possible. There's a really good way of doing that. And the idea is to sit baby down onto your lap, have them right up against you, have a nice little position where the head is right up against your chest. But now what I want you to do, and this is the trick, hand at the back to make sure that that back is straight, because as the pipe of the esophagus gets into the tummy, I want that angle to be straight. Straighten up and a little bit of bouncing underneath the knee works wonders. Patting breaks bubbles down. Don't do that. I want you to make baby's back nice and straight, nice and big. The other tip that I have for you is to get the gas out of the bottom. And this is when you hear baby go, and a lot of new parents will know this. Baby lies down next to them and just push all the time. This is a wonderful technique. Sit baby on your lap, fingers underneath the knees, knees out to the sides, lift into a squat, pop them onto your lap and a little bit of a bounce. Alternatively, you can have a bit of a walk around the room, which will be good for you and your posture, and good for baby's little pelvic floor to be able to open and get rid of that gas.
And Dr. Mike, I suppose it's worth mentioning that it's difficult not to, but for parents to try and stay calm in the process, because if you're stressing and panicking, surely your baby's able to pick up on this and you're able to quickly and easily miss some of those steps, right?
Oh, so if there's one thing that a baby can do, it's figure out that its parent is under stress. And that's a very, very important thing for a baby to be able to do, because then they need to react in a certain way if their parent is under stress. So easier said than done, but it is utilize each other. If there's 2 of you in the home, it's utilize the fact that you can move away from the situation for a little bit, get a little bit of perspective, and then come back again. But you make such a valid point. You have to look after your own mental health going through this, because it is a big thing. And having a baby cry at you for that length of time will turn the most calm, most rational, most normal person to doing things that they might be upset with. So absolutely, take care of your mental health so that you are there to be able to look after your child.
Yeah, it's spoken like a parent whose children are no longer babies, undoubtedly, man. And of course, all of that is painted over with the brush of being overtired generally as well. But we now shift over to reflux, and there are some things that you can do to help your baby once you've ascertained that they are experiencing something that happens to them like reflux.
Oh, absolutely. So the first thing, this is the golden rule of reflux, is you want to use gravity. We want to have baby upright for 20 to 30 minutes after a feed. I know that's rough, but it works like a bomb. If you pop baby down too quickly, please keep in mind that the normal amount that a baby takes in is akin to about a 2-liter bottle of fluid for an adult. So that's huge. You as an adult wouldn't want to take that in and then lie flat down on your back. So it's really, really important to have them upright and allow gravity to help pull that down. Another quick little tip that I can give you is you can try, with the blessing of your doctor, to try and feed them slightly less but slightly more often. So we don't fill that stomach and you don't have the possibility of it popping up into the esophagus.
And Doc, is there a certain age that babies experience either of these? And at what age does it then not become a worry any longer? Do they sort of outgrow it and just simply not have to go through that at all anymore?
Yes, a wonderful question, because colic and reflux are different in these respects. So with colic, it starts at about 2 weeks, hits its peak at 6 weeks. That's when you run for cover. And then down to about 3 months. That's when things start to calm down. unfortunately, reflux starts to take off and peaks at 4 months and then comes down because nature is full of cruel jokes like that. So they definitely work at different times. Interestingly, though, if you have a baby that's inconsolably crying after about 4 or 5 months, that's a bit more of a problem. Because that inconsolable crying is a problem of early childhood. So if they're carrying on doing it, then you might want to have them assessed as well.
Mike, I'm going to quickly step out here. I've got another segment to dive into, but I'm going to say how proud I am of you. It's so great to see how well you are doing, my friend. You've given us some absolute gems there, things that I'm going to use with my 5-month-old, undoubtedly. So, Mike, great to see you. I'm going to let you wrap up the conversation with Tabiso.
Good luck with the little one.
Cheers, G-Man. And just in case anyone is wondering what this major reunion is about, is that the good doctor, Mark on the line, and G-Man actually went to school together, which is absolutely fantastic. But now you're going to show us a demo on how to relieve a fussy baby, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you going to just run through that for us quickly and just, one last time, those steps for any parents who may have missed them when the baby is fussy, and sometimes you miss these steps, and so it's important to sort of watch it over and over again.
First one we want to do, skin to skin. So your shirt off, and this can be done by mom or dad, it doesn't matter. Shirt off, baby shirt off, chest to chest with each other, and you can wrap a towel around each other, and you can just be like that. It hormonally helps so much. From there, we want to make sure that all the burps are out. 3 little techniques. The one we talked about, flat, up to the back, make sure we're nice and straight, and a little bit of a bounce. If we're hiccuping, which those little ones are going to do a lot, and I'm sure G-Man can attest to, fingers underneath the arms, we lift a little just to make a little space between the diaphragm and the throat, and a little bit of a bounce. And then the last one I want to show you is up over the shoulder. So baby is shoulder over shoulder with you, underneath on the side of the leg, and a little bit of a wobble of that bum, just to be able to move things through and allow baby to calm. Last little one, onto the lap, fingers underneath the knees, out to the side, lift up into a squat, and a little bit of a bounce. This helps relieve all that lower gas. And afterwards, they can sit very nicely onto your arm like this, head out to the side, right up against you. It's called Tiger in the Tree. Most wonderful position for a baby to relax in with its parents after we've been doing it.
Stunning, and probably by that point they are so relaxed, all they want to do is to take a nap, and hopefully they just do dip into a bit of a nap, and maybe mom or dad also just gets a bit of a break in there as well. But Dr. Mike Marinus, thank you very much for joining us this morning. You've been so insightful on that colic and reflux information that many parents certainly do want to be hearing about, and of course this is definitely going to be one of those videos being watched over and over again on our YouTube. But thank you so much for joining us.
Only a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
And that is the good Dr. Marinus, of course, his name, Dr. Mike Marinus, of course, sharing all that information. Do you have any questions around this? You can pose this to the good doctor, maybe engage with him some more on social media at Marinus Criso, or rather Criro. Marinus Criro, he's a chiro. Marinus Chiro, he is a chiropractor and has joined us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Time for us now to dip into some story time.
Over the past few weeks, we've been asking you guys to share your stories of hope with Cadbury Dairy Milk, because we believe that there is a story in everyone. And South Africa, you have responded and not disappointed. The stories have been streaming in from all over, and we are so excited to announce that 5 of the top 20 most inspirational stories have already been selected for the compiled ebook that's going to be shared with orphaned and vulnerable children. Now, one of these stories and one of these entrants, Paul Lentiu, now joins us this morning to share his tale of hope and tell us a little bit more about what inspired him to submit his story. Paul, a very good morning. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Paula, let me start off by saying congratulations for having your story out there. But let's take it back a moment. How do you know when you have a story to share with the world? And what made you share yours with the Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project?
Well, I always have a story to tell. I'm in marketing, so storytelling is my daily bread, you know. Cadbury initiative is very inspiring. So I saw an opportunity to have fun and potentially make a change and be meaningful in somebody's life through my story.
I love that, and it really is going to someone incredibly special. I just think of, personify that orphan that's going to be reading this story. That makes the whole process so much more authentic and special. Maybe you can take us through the process of actually writing that story down, that narrative. What inspired you to tell this particular story?
Well, my biggest inspiration when it comes to storytelling remains the African tales that we were told when we were kids. You know, those stories where animals could talk to each other, could talk to humans. There were a lot of very nice and magical things happening. So I feel like they always presented the essence of Africa, its uniqueness, its wisdom. And I try to emulate that in all the stories that I tell myself now.
That's beautiful. What would you then say is, the most inspirational part of your story that maybe you hope will inspire our orphaned and vulnerable children?
Well, without giving anything away, I would say is the part of the foster family. They play an important and positive role in that story. And by that, I wanted to show the kids that they can love, they can allow themselves to love, they can allow themselves to trust. And I hope to keep or restore faith that they have in humanity.
I'm sure just going through the writing process itself must be cathartic, and you must be incredibly proud of your effort. But now, having been recognized in this way, how does it feel to know that your story is going to be a part of this very special ebook that's going to be shared with orphaned and vulnerable children who desperately need to feel that love?
Yeah. I think it's one of the most amazing feelings, Graham. Well, on the personal note, obviously, I'm really honored and encouraged to pursue writing, especially for kids, but more importantly, feeling that you can put a smile on the face of those kids that probably need it desperately, especially in these times that are harder for everybody. It's just priceless. It is priceless for me.
Paul, and maybe lastly, what tips and advice do you have for others out there that are struggling to get their stories down and who would want to share theirs in the future?
Well, I would say put yourself in the shoes of your audience. Ask yourself what inspires them, what makes them laugh, what gets them scared, and just try to make something interesting for them. When it comes to kids, think about the stories that impacted you when you were younger and the reasons why, and then just try to apply the same recipe to your own story.
I love that. You seem like the most wonderful human being. Thank you so much for putting the effort that you have into this process. Here's an open invitation when you're ready to release that children's book full of African stories and ready to inspire them. We'll welcome you into studio. But I got to thank you so much for joining us and congratulate you again on what really is a special achievement. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm a big fan of the show. It's a dream coming true.
So we're a big fan of you now, my friend. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
A special thank you to each person for showing your generosity and taking the time to write and share your stories with the Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone, real or imagined. We are thankful for each story. We're excited to see what other stories have made it into the ebook and what the children's reactions will be. Keep your eye on the Cadbury Dairy Milk social media pages to see how the stories are brought to life.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
It's one for the book readers and the book eaters. One for the construction workers and their helpful ones. One for the laundry sorters and the laundry hoarders. Whoever the dog member of your family, big or small, new NexGuard Spectra, the broad spectrum monthly chew that protects inside and out in one easy step. NexGuard Spectra, just one chew, so easy for you.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. We're live on SABC3. It's that time of the morning where we dip into another edition of our feature where we focus on the unconventional side of the law. And the law can be quite tricky, so we ask the question, so now what? And we're calling once again upon the legal guidance of our friend and expert in law, director at legalease.co.za. It's Eitan Stern. Of course, right along with the grown-ups who are grappling with the new normal of COVID-19 era. This is an important conversation that we need to be dipping into. But Eitan, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry I'm not with you in studio today.
Man, we miss your presence here. We miss your presence so much. But it's good to be able to connect with you in this way.
Yeah, for sure.
Eitan, you know, we know that it's very difficult to hold anyone else liable if you are to catch COVID-19 during this time. But does this then change in any way when it comes to catching it in the school environment?
All right, so school's a very interesting one for COVID. So not really. COVID is a tough disease and it's unfortunately very contagious. And we're all trying to figure out ways to live with it and carry on our lives. And one of those realities is that children need to go back to school. So children are going back to some extent, they're going at their own risk. And parents need to understand that there's some element of risk attached to this. So how does it work? Well, schools do have to comply with a specific set of safety standards that's been set out by the Department of Education, and schools will be closed if they can't comply with those standards. In theory, if a school didn't comply and someone got sick, then they could be liable in the same way that any person or institution can be liable if they cause harm when they break the rules. But it would need to be proven that the child or the person caught the illness at the school, which can be tough. So to manage this risk, many schools are asking parents to sign indemnities to show that the parents understand the risk of sending their child back to school. And they are, of course, keeping to the safety procedures prescribed by government. But in general, I think we should all go gently. It's a tough job to do anything in this pandemic. I say sitting here in my lounge instead of in studio. And I'm sure it's especially tough to run a school. So while the safety procedures may not be perfect, nothing is really perfect during this pandemic.
And I think that introduction sets the tone pretty well and really broadly for this conversation that we're having, which really has to do with learners and parents and the choices, the legal choices specifically that they do have around education in the times of COVID-19. But Eitan, many people, of course, are considering the option of then not continuing the school year and picking it up from the same grade next year. So many having those conversations right now. Can parents and learners legally do this? Can they make that choice legally?
Yeah, okay, cool. So the department, what they did is they put together a schedule for how kids will return to school. Each grade is going back at a different time, and I believe you guys are talking about this more on the show, which is great. But what the rules say is that parents actually have the option to not send their send their kids back to school if it's in the best interests of the child. So parents can't just decide not to send them to school because it's easier or they don't like school or anything like that. But if it's somehow in the best interest of the child, maybe the child's going to be homeschooled or they've got something else planned for the child, which, you know, that's young enough to miss a couple of months, then they could send it back. Then they could not send their child back to school until these lockdown procedures, lockdown regulations are over.
Eitan, what about parents who have paid their children's school fees for the year, understandably, have many questions regarding whether they can get partial refunds? What is the status regarding this, and can a parent then legally request this during these times as well?
Okay, cool. So I had a look through the regulations. As far as I could tell, there's nothing in the rules about this. So it would then have to be dealt with the school's terms and conditions, which a parent would sign when entering that child into the school. So presumably, since the school has not done anything wrong by being closed, and they would still have to cover their expenses, such as the teachers' salaries, one couldn't ask for their full fees back if one decides not to send their kid to school. But if a parent insists or they think the school has done something unfair, then they could firstly look towards the Consumer Protection Act, try to get some protection, or of course look at the school's terms and conditions, and there'll hopefully be something around there about refunds. which might give them some sort of a remedy.
And I know that for a lot of parents, I mean, they've still had kids learning online or virtually still receiving all of that homework. So those are the things that you consider. I mean, we've paid school fees for my niece from the beginning of lockdown and continue to pay in full, purely because the teachers are still working and still need to get their salaries. But that's something to think about and to consider, of course, as you go through those school laws that you've got outlined for you in regards to fees. But then that's all then on the school's responsibility to make sure that they outline that. But what about the parents? Do parents have an obligation then when it comes to all of this?
Yes, certainly. So, this COVID's definitely a community disease. It's something we all have a responsibility around, and, our actions affect everyone else. So parents in the laws have an obligation not to send their child to school if he or she is sick or if they're experiencing symptoms of any sort. And if a parent is sick, their child is sick, they have to notify the school and not send their child to school. So it's really important that the parents and the schools play their part in this to make sure that we get through this, which it really seems that we are. And that's just an incredible thing to read the news each day and see how South Africa has tackled this thing so brilliantly, and we're hopefully getting through it.
But like you said, Aitan, this is a community thing. It's unprecedented. Everyone's going through it. And maybe we just need to be a little bit, just caring at this place and just be patient with everyone, because we're also trying to find out what works for us as parents and also for the children and the learners during this time.
Approach it all with love 100%. And care and compassion at all levels of this interaction. But of course, Aitan Stern, you are fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us this morning and shedding light on what the choices are legally for parents and learners when it comes to going back to school and running education during this time.
Cool. See you next week.
Thank you very much, Aitan. Well, it's just gone past 7 o'clock. Time for us to find out what's happening in the news with Graham.
Thanks so much, team. Let's kick it off with our National News. Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize says new research estimates that some 12 million people in South Africa could already have been infected with the coronavirus. This is much higher than the official number of detected cases, which is now sitting at 650,749. A decline in cases had raised questions of what level of immunity may exist in the country. During the spike in July, between 10 and 15,000 new cases were reported daily. But in the last 24 hours, only 956 new cases have been identified. Then members of the South African cultural and creative industry organisations will be marching to Parliament and the Union buildings this morning. That to hand over a memorandum. They say with the closure of state and private venues, the industry is on the brink of collapse and are calling for an amendment to regulations to allow them to host concerts and other events at 70% capacity. Trade Union for Musicians of South Africa's Gabby Leroux says they also wish the Artist Relief Fund to be more accessible to those who now desperately do need it. On the international news front, over 30 international artists and photographers have come together to raise awareness for the endangered African wild dogs, also known as African painted dogs. Artwork from the global art fundraiser Lycon Artists for Painted Dogs will be available to preview from the 29th of this month and on sale as of the 6th of October. The exhibition includes the work of Kenya's Karen Lawrence Rowe, South Africa's Patrick Reynolds and Zimbabwe's Liberty Shuro. Artists are donating 50% of the proceeds from the sale of their work to the Painted Dog Conservation in Zimbabwe and Wildlife Act in South Africa. Then the poisoned Russian opposition figure Alexei Navalny is set to return to Russia. His spokeswoman has said. Kira Yaremish said it was puzzling why anyone should think otherwise. Navalny also posted a picture on Instagram for the first time since he was poisoned with Novichok nerve agent. He collapsed on a flight from Serbia in August and was transferred to the Charité hospital in the German capital Berlin. His team alleges he was poisoned on the orders of Russian President Vladimir Putin, but the Kremlin denies any involvement. And now news of an attempt on the ultimate challenge of human endurance and character. Cape Townian 59-year-old Zirk Botha is determined to do his bit to place the spotlight on the impact of fossil fuels and irresponsible consumerism on the planet, and that renewable energies are essential to a sustainable future. However, he plans to do this in quite an extraordinary way, to say the least. Botha, a former naval combat officer, will attempt to row solo to Rio de Janeiro, leaving Cape Cape Town in December. Dewey Renewable Energy South Africa will be sponsoring his very admirable and, we have to say, brave effort. Bertha will have to row unassisted for approximately 14 hours per day for 90 days over some 7,000 kilometers of often treacherous and unpredictable waters in the very cold southern Atlantic. Now, rowing is considered to be the ultimate challenge of human endurance. More people have climbed Mount Everest, in fact, than have crossed an ocean in a rowing boat. And in this instance, there will be no supporting safety boat amidst gigantic waves and swells. Meanwhile, Bertha says although he is training extremely hard, he realizes his biggest challenge will not be physical, but mental, and we certainly wish him well in his efforts. Hopefully we'll get him on the show to chat a bit more about that. But right now, let's get into our sporting headlines. We start with great news from a South African athletics perspective. South African Olympic champion and world record holder Wade van Niekerk beat Joachim Dobber of the Netherlands and Poland's Karol Zalewski in a 400-meter race in the Gala di Castilla at the Municipal Stadium in Switzerland yesterday. The 28-year-old made his long-awaited return to the sport after recovering from a knee injury and COVID-19. Van Niekerk won the race in a time of 45.58 seconds. Now onto a battle royale unfolding in football. Locally, a second-half hat-trick by forward Elazar Rogers and two other goals confirmed a very impressive 5-1 win for Ajax Cape Town over Chakuma Cha Mazivandila at the Bidvest Stadium. That to top the 2019-2020 Premier Soccer League promotion relegation playoff standings yesterday. TTM now sit at the bottom of those standings behind Black Leopards in second place. That means Ajax and Leopards will now get ready for a crucial showdown on Friday. Then on to an international field. Barcelona's captain Lionel Messi, of course his position there has been under much speculation, but he has now become football's second billionaire after topping Forbes' rich list this year. Messi beat out Juventus star striker and his old rival Cristiano Ronaldo with earnings of a whopping $126 million from his Barca salary and then a further $34 million from his sponsorships and other sources of revenue. Ronaldo is in second place though with a whopping $117 million, and Paris Saint-Germain's star forward Neymar is coming in at a very credible third with $96 million. It's tough out there for the sporting stars. That's where we leave our sporting news for today. Let's get another update on the weather and take a look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Like G said, it's time to get into our second look at what the weather has in store for us today. But first, here are your beautiful sunrise pictures. This one comes from Nancy Govender, who shared this flawless and truly sublime image of the sun's rays piercing through the clouds in Pennington, KZN, that gently reflected on the ocean. Now, do expect 20% precipitation with a maximum of 22 degrees. Another one coming through from Sander February, who caught our attention with this image of a bird soaring past this golden sunrise in Zonnebloem. Now, Cape Town will experience a rainy day with 72% chance of rain. Thank you so much for your sunrise pictures. Believe me when I say that we absolutely love seeing them. Please do continue to share them on our socials and we will show them live on the show. Now, Northwest Africa has of late experienced severe weather conditions caused by much higher than usual seasonal rain. Now, more than 500,000 people have been affected by severe flooding in Ethiopia, with some places recording the heaviest downfalls in a century. The levels of the River Nile has also been at their highest in 100 years. At least 200,000 people have been left homeless by the floods, which have swept through at least 5 of Ethiopia's 10 regions, killing livestock, destroying crops, and damaging homes and public infrastructure to an extent not experienced in decades. Now, neighboring Sudan has also been hit by severe flooding. More rain is forecast for the area during the next few days. Now, bringing it back home to look at the temperatures for the rest of the country today. Starting off with Polokwane, your low is 15, peaking at 30 degrees today. Umbombela ranges from 16 to 30 as well. If you're out in Pretoria, your minimum is 16 with a maximum of 30. Johannesburg 14, 28. Mahikeng ranges from 9 to 30 degrees. If you're out in Klerksdorp, your minimum temperature is 6 with a maximum of 28. For you, Kimberley, it is 4, 25. Bloemfontein ranges from 2 to 23. And then Richards Bay coming through with a low of 18 and a high of 29. Pietermaritzburg, for you, it is 8, 24. And if you do find yourself in South Africa's playground today, Durban ranges from 15 to 23 degrees. Mthatha, 8, 25. East London, 12, 23. Cradock coming through with a low of 3 and a high of 24. And then the friendly city of Port Elizabeth ranges from 9 to 19. George coming through with a low of 10 and a high of 20. The mother city Cape Town reaches a low of 10 and a high of 16, again with a 72% chance of rain. Worcester, 7, 15. Sutherland coming through with -2 and only reaching a maximum of 13. And then Uppington with a low of 0 and a high of 23. Whatever the weather, wherever you find yourself, please make sure to keep it locked right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you, Jamie.
The good news, we've got 40 grand to give away. Who doesn't want their share of 40 grand? Nedbank have already come on board with the generosity and are giving away 40,000 rand in cash to some very lucky winners. The rules are simple. Spend 500 bucks or more on your Nedbank card and you could win 2,500 rand. Or open a new Nedbank account and spend 500 rand and you could get a cool 5,000 rand.
They double it. They double it. And this morning we're excited to announce our first 2 winners. Drum roll, please. Yes, it's in. Congratulations to Spamandla Nxumalo and Marilyn Mills. Well, yes, well, the 2 of you have both qualified to win 2,500 rand in cold, hard cash.
Hey, wouldn't that go a long way, man? We need the cash. If you're still looking for another 6 winners right now, and you can win yourself that 2,500 rand when you spend 500 rand or more on your Nedbank card, and then you SMS the keyword Nedbank to 33728 to register your entry, or you can win 5,000 rand. We repeat that, 5 grand when you open a new account, and then do the same. Spend 500 rand or more and SMS in to register your entry.
It's pretty simple, and the competition will close on the 18th of October. You've still got some time. We're doing weekly draws, so make sure that you enter ASAP and get yourself in line to win that 2,500 rand. Or if you open a Nedbank account from scratch because you haven't got one, you will double that amount to 5,000 rand. SMSs are charged at 1.50 rand, and all the T's and C's, you can find them on our website, expressoshow.com. Good luck.
So I'm chatting to Umalume Musa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso and just in time to talk movies. And if, like me, you're feeling like a kid who's eaten too much sugar and you're just buzzing because one of the greatest stories of all time that was a really cool movie is about to be remade into what looks like the coolest movie, not of this year, of any year, by one of the greatest directors that we have in our modern era. JP Sebastian is nodding his head in appreciation and validation. Dune is here. We are going back to planet Arrakis.
Nod in my head is the last thing that I'm able to do this morning. I've got in all my cardio. Whenever I talk to anyone, I'll grab anyone. I've been talking to a pot plant at some points about Dune.
We've spoken about this about 20 times, I think.
I've not even read the books. You've read the books?
Love the books. One of the most amazing stories, gripping stories. Frank Herbert, one of the greatest, I think, authors in the science fiction, any genre, to be quite honest. But this story has stood the test of time, and there's a reason why it's grabbed so many, because it's big. It's on a truly universal scale, but it's also on an interpersonal, on a personal journey scale. It's also just
one of the strange sort of like personal journeys for a lot of people. Because look, today I'm just talking about a trailer that came out last week. I'm not telling you about the movie that comes out December 18th in South Africa. I'll untangle the story then and what it means and what the politics are and who's who and all that kind of stuff. But I just want to tell you what Dune means to people. And one of the things is that Frank Herbert's book came out in 1965, and you would not have had Star Wars. You would not have had Alien if not for Dune. So what you're looking at here are some of the visuals by, and thank goodness for the cinematographer Greg Fraser, thank goodness for director Denis Villeneuve, who previously, by the way, you just mentioned that you loved Arrival.
Yeah.
And Blade Runner 2049. He said that those two movies were practice for Dune.
This.
How do you call gigantic movies like that, which were...
Blade Runner was a masterpiece, and almost like, if you look at the color grading of his films and the visual treatment, that was almost like never mind a rehearsal, almost like a training ground for what Dune must look like, because the color, the treatment,
and you can
the
talk
film
about color with
that.
Villeneuve, that's one thing, but really the guy works in materials in a way. It's sculpture. Look at this, gorgeous. So some of the names we know already. Timothy Chalamet's in it, Zendaya's in it, Oscar Isaac is in it, Poe Dameron, Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible. Wow, these people are showing up as I talk about them. Josh Brolin from Sicario previously with Denis Villeneuve. Dang me for not showing up. Dave Bautista, who was brilliant in Blade Runner. The list is endless. Javier Bardem, one of the best living. Stellan Skarsgård is Baron Harkonnen. You only get a tiny look at him. So I'm not going to tell you what all of these things mean just yet. Only what's important is that Villeneuve says, and a lot of the creators behind us, look at that.
Oh my word. Guy, the fight scenes, because the martial arts are so vital to the way they play out. So there's battles on a grand scale and there's battles on a very personal.
So I'll, Graham's clearly a nerd for the books here. Like the thing is, back in the 70s, a brilliant director named Alejandro Jodorowsky tried to envision this movie. And what you got to know about Jodorowsky is that he took his concept book, his beautiful artwork of 1,000 pictures, these frames, these stills that you make for the concept art of the movie, and took it to major studios. They said, Dune looks amazing. As a movie, it sounds awesome, but they don't think that the world in the 70s is ready for it, and they don't think that they have a technical capability. Now in 2020, in December 18th, we might see someone who has the bravery to take up what would have been one of the greatest movies of all time, that what set the pace for Star Wars, what set the pace for the movies you love in sci-fi, and what David Lynch, who we love dearly, but failed in making Dune in the 80s. Villeneuve is now picking up from a failure. From earlier on, from something that could have been one of the greatest.
And this is very much, it's not a remake, because obviously it stems from the same thing, and this is the perfect timing, because you are left in awe of these giant beasts, the worms.
That worm,
that's critical.
Yes.
And that, for me, it needs to stand
a year worth of design, by the way.
Wow, and this is one of those, it's going to define a new era of science fiction. It has to, because the book did that.
It has to. That's a good point, absolutely. So in the same way that 2001 A Space Odyssey made every director go, wait, science fiction is not just for boys comics about lasers and robots and aliens on Mars and stuff like that. It's dead serious, adult stuff. It doesn't have to be boring, of course. And Villeneuve, geez, if you're practicing on Blade Runner and practicing on Arrival, to say those about great movies.
Sicario, also brilliant in its treatment.
Sicario, Enemy, Incendie, Prisoners. He is one of the best living directors that we have, and maybe Dune is going to be his magnum opus. Weirdly, I'll say that from this, I'm super, super excited, obviously, from the visuals, but they're mostly just concerned with telling you this is not like the bad one from the 80s. We got this right, and that's what counts.
Hey, man, I'm such a fan. I was a fan of the 80s as well, but this, just looking at the cast list, is so well cast. If you've read the book, I think you're going to absolutely revel in this. If you haven't, go and read the book.
As someone who nerded out about the book, what does it mean to you, just from the heart? Like, how excited are you about this kind of thing?
It really really is probably, it helped lay the foundation for the way that I appreciate books and movies and my love of sci-fi and fantasy, not just because I love being able to push my imagination in that sense, but what it means for the individuals, the politics, where humanity is going. It explores such massive
And that sci-fi is something that we've relegated to, oh, it's kids stuff or whatever, can be that thematic and large.
It's the most adult theme out there, and it gives you an opportunity to look at where humanity is going and who we are as a species. And what I love about this is it's so big and it's so small at the same time. But there are these dramatic moments that will leave you in tears, that will leave you with chills, that will leave you feeling unbelievably vulnerable. This has got to be one of those great masterpieces, and to be able to see it come to life visually is going to be a treat. And we get to do it in December. So JP is going to be coming back undoubtedly to talk about the politics, the human angles, all of those wonderful narratives within this book. But June is coming. It's back. If you're a June fan like me,
I'm quiche a week of freaking out.
Oh, gee, man. Now, before we get started in the kitchen, do you always feel like you would like to help in the needy times and the difficult times that we're going through right now and you don't know how to? Well, Woolies have the answer. They have partnered with Gift of the Givers to distribute food care packs to families in need. And each bag is filled with a protein, or a balance of protein rather, fresh fruit then mix as well, vegetables, as well as other staples and hygiene products. Now, did you know that donating as little as 10 Rand would provide one person with 3 meals for a day? Think about that. It changes so much lives. Of course, if you'd like to get involved, just scan the QR code on the screen right now with the SnapScan app, or you can go into your banking app and use your banking app to donate whatever you can, whatever you are able to, towards filling a bag. Now, remember to go and encourage all of your family, your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, your chat groups, your societies, everybody to do the same. Every little bit does make a huge difference, and it does help. And the truth is, together we can, and together we will. Now, we all know it's braai season in Mzansi. Yes, wake up to it, South Africa. And we know that South Africans have a rich heritage of cooking meat over an open flame. And of course, an equally rich mix of sides to serve alongside all those braai meat goodies. And Chakalaka is one of the most iconic South African braai sides, whether it's used in a salad, with pap, as a condiment, or eaten on its own. It's always a hit, always a tick from me. And Chef Clem is on hand, on standby here, to show us how to make it. Let us Chakalaka.
Yeah. So I decided I'm going to chill for this one.
Oh, is that why you've put me here?
Because honestly, we've been cooking, like, it's been years now we've been cooking together. I want to know that you've been paying attention.
Okay.
All right.
This is
I'll talk you through it.
Like sneaky, but I'll do it. I'll do it because
Graham believes in you. But Graham wasn't here when you... Okay, first of all, check what's in your pot.
Okay.
Graham wasn't here when you did the egg challenge, right? Remember the egg challenge that we did?
Egg challenge. No, I got it right.
You did. You were very creative.
I did well.
And
yeah.
you put your own spin on it. So this is a recipe from Taste Magazine.
Yes.
And I want to see how you put your spin on it.
Okay,
so, okay,
cool.
you got some onions browning away there.
Yes.
I see you doing the dodge. What's happening? Why?
They're quite brown.
Okay. How's your heat?
The heat is medium heat, low to medium. They've gotten quite nice and brown. I suppose the thing about onions, and this is something I always say, because I make a lot of dishes with onions. It's something I do all the time. Is that you have to watch them when you are making.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I can smell your onions, and I think you're ready for what's your next ingredient. I think you got some garlic and ginger.
Yeah.
So you can add your garlic and ginger.
Garlic going in there.
You're looking at it.
I'm double checking.
Double checking. Okay, your ginger can go in.
And then you've got your ginger going in there. Well, listen, first of all, I have to say to you, I have tasted many different versions of Chakalaka, but one with garlic and ginger, you've just stepped it up.
Okay.
You really have taken it to a new level.
All right,
altogether.
okay.
Yeah.
I can smell things are happening. That's smelling good.
Paprika.
No, that's your curry spice.
Curry spice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you like your Chakalaka spicy?
You have to. Chakalaka
I know,
for me, the law around Chakalaka, as far as I'm concerned, and many people that I've bribed with, is that it's got to be hot. It has to be hot.
Don't play.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't play with it. Listen, if you want to get the recipe and you want to cook along and get involved and learn how to make this switched up version of the Chakalaka, go on our website, www.expressoshow.com. We've got the ingredients and the recipe loaded on there. What goes
Talk
in
to
next?
me. Let's go. So we've got some peppers.
Yes.
We got the green, the yellow, and the red. So I like the combination of the three because they all have different flavors.
Yeah. What do I do for moisture if like it's all gone quite dry in there because obviously of the spice meeting with the onions? Do I throw in some of this a little bit?
You can add a bit of oil in there, especially if you add some spice now.
Oil,
I like adding a little bit of water to it, but I also like adding. I also like adding some tomatoes.
Yeah.
Tomatoes release their moisture.
Yes.
Yeah, so that can go in there. And then carrots add sweetness as well. And you'll see while it cooks, the moisture comes out of it, and then you actually get like a nice amount of moisture in your chakalaka.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, nice.
So now the most important thing with the chakalaka, and also like a curry, is it needs salt. If it doesn't have the salt, you don't get the flavors coming through.
You miss the flavor, and there's nothing worse than a flat chakalaka.
No.
Oh man.
No.
You want it to burst with flavor. The whole thing about a chakalaka is that it's one of those sides that really do complement whatever braai you're making, but they bring it to life. They really just do add so much character and personality.
Agree. I love when foreigners come to South Africa and they try it and they fall in love with it. We had some German friends that came over and they left with cans and cans of chakalaka.
Hey, maybe you and I, after this, let's see how it goes with this one that I'm making here. Maybe you and I can look into venturing into the chakalaka exporting business.
I like it, okay.
Yeah,
we can do that. Oh, that was green chili that went in there.
I love it.
I love it, it's fresh. Don't forget your salt, don't forget your salt.
Second, I'm gonna go, I've got, that's sugar. A little bit of sugar, I'm gonna get some salt.
No, where are you going?
I'm coming.
I'll bring you some salt.
Okay,
I'll bring you salt. Talk to the people because I've got a feeling you're gonna run away.
No, I'm not gonna run away. It's looking good. But everyone, I think South Africans, the thing about us is that we really all do put a twist to how we make our chakalaka.
We do.
Just about every person has their own unique way of making their chakalaka.
Do you like chakalaka with beans?
I usually prefer to add the beans as a side.
Okay, we'll do it your way. It's your chakalaka.
No, but you're teaching me how to really make
I want to
this
see how you make
version.
it. Well, okay, so I absolutely love chakalaka. Chakalaka also, you can make it weeks in advance. The longer it sits, the more intense the flavor becomes and it gets beautiful. The flavors marry. So I never make chakalaka on the day. I make it way in advance.
Like how far in advance?
Well, I normally make a big batch of chakalaka, so I'll always have chakalaka in the fridge, ready to go.
We add the beans.
Okay, so
sweet.
Woolies loves you so much, they put a ring on it. Because in 2020, we do not do tin openers.
No, I still don't know how to use a tin opener.
You're not the only one.
Because I don't have to learn how to use a tin opener.
No, Woolies got you covered. We got you covered.
The world has changed.
Okay, so what's nice about the beans is it also comes in tomato sauce already, so it adds a nice sweetness to your chakalaka. So you got that heat and you got that sweetness.
Nice.
Sabji, can I just say something?
What
I think we need to do a new food challenge with you and the other presenters because you've impressed me so much. I'm giving you the kitchen crown because, I mean, you handle this like a pro. You know, my favorite thing about your cooking segment is when you cook with pizzazz. You got your spoon in the pot and the other hand stands here like this.
Is that what I was doing the whole time?
I don't know if it's ready to like give a backhand or was ready to like what?
It's
but the
ready
hand
to fetch the ingredients.
Oh, dude, you got so much.
There.
You got so much flair in the kitchen. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. I got it from my mama.
So now we're going to auction off Tabiso's chakalaka. Bidding's going to start at 1,000 rand.
So good.
It smells good. It smells great. Honestly, it is such an iconic South African side. It makes every braai amazing.
Yes.
Tabji, you showed the nation how easy it is to make.
And there
Thank you so much.
There you have it. That's how you make a chakalaka. You want the recipe? Go on to expressoshow.com. We've loaded this recipe with all of the ingredients, and I tell you what, try this out this weekend, okay? Take a video of everybody's reaction. I think maybe even pre-warn them that you're going to be video recording their reaction.
And we will put it up.
And let's put it up.
Yeah,
let's put it up.
For sure. Make this chakalaka, record your reaction, and then next week on the show, we'll play a few of the reactions.
And then also tell me and share with me and Chef Clem with your chakalaka if you are adding beans to it, for example, if you're going to be adding the garlic and ginger to it as well.
Chili,
For me, that's a chakalaka with a twist. And of course, that's the final product. I actually am very keen.
Go for it, my friend.
To know what the ginger and garlic twist tastes like.
Yeah?
It's a lift-off. It's a lift-off. Love it. Go on to expressoshow.com and get cooking. Happy cooking, everybody. Spicy.
from this to
We want to acknowledge the healthcare students tirelessly volunteering during COVID-19.
She's been a role model. She has given me so much confidence.
And give them hope for their future after this pandemic.
Here I am now, it's 10 years later, and I'm still trying to follow in his footsteps.
We're looking for current and aspiring healthcare students, graduates, interns, or those doing the community service here. Nominate yourself, receive nurturing mentorship, experience health work readiness, and stand a chance to win a 25,000 Rand scholarship. And for the mentors associated with the winner, you'll win an overseas trip to attend a medical conference of your choice. Sponsors of Brave, the next generation of Brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3. Now, as much as a shared language, location, or community can root us in our identity, nothing celebrates that more than traditional dancing and singing. It's true. And the ongoing Latavula Cultural Fiesta at the Soweto Theatre is sharing this spirit of jubilation as a showcase of various traditional dance forms. And we're being joined via video call by the director, Makaula Ndebele, to share more with us. Good morning, Makaula. Thank you very much for making the time.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Heritage Month is one of my favorite months in the entire world because it's filled with dance, song, and music. Why would you say that these elements are such a brilliant way in order to celebrate and immerse ourselves in culture and heritage?
Well, for us as South Africans in particular, I mean, every major event in our lives is laced with some sort of music, dance, or expression through performance. And we just thought it would be great to, as spring comes around, to incorporate that in our formal mainstream program. We know we're a musical and cultural people, and it's an opportunity to really showcase the diversity that's within the country in a way that ushers in a new era.
And this is so true about South Africans, is that we are such expressive people. We use dance, we use song, we use all sorts of other cultural expression or art forms to be able to do this and really live out our best versions. But why is it so important to the festival to get people excited about celebrating their heritage?
Well, it's spring, and we thought, the lockdown has kind of made it possible for us to really be indoors and reflect on ourselves. And as spring comes around, it coincides with level 2, and hopefully by the time summer kicks in, we'll be in level 1. So it's kind of like a new opening. So when we decided on the fiesta and the name of it, we kind of wanted something that signals a new beginning, an opening. It's a new era, as it were. We use young people to work on the productions, and they have different and new interpretations of the traditional music and dance. So to fuse the old with the new.
I love that so much, and you've mentioned something that's very important and I think is aligned with the significance of spring, which is new beginnings, a new era, as you've put it. So the involvement of young people as well is a form of continuing the heritage, the culture, and pushing, this expression of our different diversity in South Africa. Exactly, and passing it on. So kudos to you. I love that. People can also stream, the show online as well as enjoy the performance at Soweto Theatre. But the one question that a lot of people have at the back of their minds is, how is health and safety being ensured and regulated at the venue?
So the streaming part is the most important part, and we really encourage people to go for that option, and simply because we're still limited to 50 audience members. So unless you get your tickets very early, you're going to have a hard time trying to get in. So we're trying to drive the traffic to the streaming side of things. But to answer your question more directly, is that we do have sanitizers. We're in the big main theater at the Soweto Theater. So it's a space, 2 seats with no people, and then a seat. And then the whole capacity is limited to 50. So in the theater itself, people are nicely spaced out. And then as you enter the theater, there's sanitizers. We check your temperature. You fill in forms. The lines as well are nicely spaced. So we've really thought about it. Yeah, it is safe, and we look forward to people coming through. But for this instance, if you can go online, that's the first prize.
The fiesta promises to be such an extravaganza. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, but what can people expect exactly when they do tune in and they stream online, or when they do visit the theater physically?
We have a band, an amazing band. Their sound is very unique in the sense that it does touch on it's very a spiritual experience. It touches on the spiritual, but they're able to fuse it with what is happening contemporarily. And then we have Tonga dance, we have Zulu dance, we have Tswana dance. But what makes them unique is that this younger generation has taken the traditional stuff and really kind of merged it to where they are today. So what you see is what you know, but you not really, if that makes any sense.
Yes, no, that makes sense.
We packaged it together to make one whole experience, so they fuse into one another. What you have is an amazing array of musical and physical expression.
It's beautiful.
It sounds so rich and colorful and truly exciting, something that I'm pretty sure many of us will enjoy in the comfort of our own homes, online, or even in theater.
Yeah, I love that you've taken all these art forms and these traditional sort of dance expressions that are so familiar, but you are bringing them together now in a reimagined manner, and with such a beautiful theme of renewal and of healing. And we all need that, especially now coming out of COVID-19. Oh, Makaula, absolutely fantastic work. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for sharing this with us this morning.
Thank you for having me. And we trust it's going to be amazing. So thank you so much, and have a good one.
Now, you too at home can celebrate heritage with the ongoing Latabula Cultural Fiesta at the Soweto Theatre. You can either attend at the venue or stream online from the Soweto Theatre YouTube page, both of which are absolutely free.
Love that.
I know. If you do go to the venue, though, do ensure the safety of yourself and those around you. If you'd like more information, simply head over to sowetotheatre.com.
Thanks, guys. Now, one of the talented acts that you can catch at the ongoing Latabula Cultural Fiesta is Sangria Experiment. They're a septet from Soweto that describe themselves as a band that caters for a spiritual, ancestral sound that tells stories of who we are and the global community without race, color, or nation.
Absolutely. Enjoy a snippet of them performing their song by Yede. Photosensitive viewers, please note there are some flashing lights. Take a look at this.
my morning
amazing.
needed that. Looks absolutely beautiful. Of course, in just a moment, we're going to inspire you to get out there. I know that the travel ban hasn't been lifted on an international scale as yet, but I think many remaining very hopeful that things are about to change. Boy, doesn't our tourism industry need it. And just imagine cruising again. We're going to do that in just a moment. In fact, up next with Imagine Holidays.
What's better than a sugar-coated, deliciously crispy golden brown donut and 100% Arabica beans brewed to perfection? Treat yourself and warm up your morning with a little sweetness from McCafe with the all-new mini donut and cappuccino offer. A little lovin' doesn't have to cost a lot. Great coffee, simple.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, I'm getting excited. You
So
don't
am I.
have to imagine a holiday anymore. You could start planning with one amazing holiday with Imagine Holidays right now. That's right. It's time to make those plans. With cruises being open for bookings, Imagine Holidays are back with us to take us on an unforgettable adventure. And today, we're going to be sharing with you the incredible cruise from the artistic Barcelona to the glittering Dubai on this Mediterranean and Arabian discovery.
Ooh, all the excitement. Now, this holiday is 28 nights in total, and it includes flights and taxes, a 2-night 4-star hotel stay in Barcelona with breakfast and a 26-night cruise on board Costa Smeralda with all meals. So that's breakfast, lunch and dinner, as well as entertainment covered. And all of this for just 36,999, 36,999 per person.
I want you to do the maths because that is an unbelievable price when you include things like flights and all of your gratuity, everything taken care of,
46 nights.
as well as exploring a fantastic collection of destinations on your journey. You'll be arriving to them in comfort and style. So launched back in 2019, the Smeralda is part of Costa's superb excellence class and is the new flagship and largest ship ever built. Incredible. So whether you're looking for a peaceful, romantic break with your partner or a fun-filled family getaway, the Costa Smeralda is the perfect choice for a cruise holiday of a lifetime.
And listen, for the kids, there's also something there. For the kids, they've got a kids club, 4 pools, an entertainment deck full of entertainment activities there, water park, a mini golf and high rope garden with kids adventure all over the place. Plus, of course, a range of programs to leave your children in a safe environment so that you can, head on off and go enjoy some, well-deserved relaxation time.
You can chill. Adults can choose to unwind in the spa and wellness center with a pampering treatment. You can enjoy a romantic dinner at one of the 11 onboard restaurants. 11. Spend a relaxing day at the adult-only beach club, and at night, of course, sip a cocktail at the jazz club. And then why not follow that up with a spectacular theater show? And Bering, this is all on one ship.
11 restaurants. That's more restaurants than I have in my entire neighborhood. But now let me talk to you about your itinerary. Your holiday begins with a 2-night hotel stay in Barcelona, okay? Now, Barcelona is a city famed for its Gaudi buildings, including the iconic unfinished Sagrada Familia Cathedral, which is an absolute must-see. I mean, anyone really has to see it.
Look at that.
Along with the beautiful Picasso Museum that houses one of the most extensive art collections of artist Pablo Picasso, of course, and that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to experience that. And another fantastic place to stay is the popular Lambres, that runs through the center of the city. It's brimming with markets, stalls, bustling bars and restaurants, and of course really comes to life at night, which is the right time to have a good time. I definitely recommend a hop-on or hop-off bus tour for an inexpensive and fun way to explore the city, because there's so much to see. And it stops at all the main sites, including the football stadium, Gaudi Park, and of course the beautiful beaches, plus so much more.
It really is like a work of art come to life when you talk about Gaudi. Some incredible architecture and installations.
Look at that.
Here, of course, you'll embark on the fabulous Costa Smeralda for your 26-night voyage, visiting Palma de Mallorca, Balneario, where you'll actually stop in twice on the journey.
Wow.
This, for me, I think is one of the highlights of this particular cruise. The island off Italy's south coast is full of unforgettable scenery, golden beaches, azure waters, lush parks, and then, of course, the sprawling metropolis as well. It's also a destination which boasts some of the best food in the country, probably in the world, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So be sure to sample an array of local specialities like the arancini, delicious deep-fried rice balls, the dessert dish of granita, an exquisite type of sorbet. I love this kind of cuisine. It's my vibe. And there you get the authentic taste.
And your cruise continues to Rome, Italy's ancient capital. Another highlight of note. For me, I think Rome is like an open-air museum brimming with amazing things to do and see. So much to do and see there. You can visit the Colosseum and learn about the Roman history there.
Gladiators.
Heading to the beautiful Trevi Fountain, and of course joining the millions of people that have really tossed a coin into this famous landmark and made a wish.
And the wishes come
Many
true.
of those wishes do come true. We know
They
that.
do.
And of course the Spanish Steps are just behind the fountain, where 174 steps take you to the beautiful twin tower church that dominates the skyline in the most beautiful way. The Vatican City is another must-see, and of course the Sistine City Chapel, Sistine Chapel is there. Of course, the official residence of the Pope. I mean,
any one of those things would sit on a person's bucket list, and you get to do them all in one of your destinations on your itinerary. Then you carry on exploring Italy with stops in Savona on the northwest coast of the country, Ajaccio, and then return to Palmero. Your journey then continues to Creta, Limassol, then Haifa, Salalah, Muscat, Doha, and then Abu Dhabi. And you'll end your voyage, of course, in Dubai, where you'll have an overnight in port before flying back home.
I mean, I have to sit back for this one. Let's put it this way. This is really a fantastic holiday. It has only one departure date, which is the 30th of October 2021. 30th of October 2021. You want to make sure that you plan for it now. 36,999, of course, per person, which includes 2 nights in Barcelona. 26-night cruise from Barcelona to Dubai. All taxes and flights are covered in that amount.
Just go and Google the flights for that. And then you begin to understand the scale of the economy here. It's incredible. So if you want to see yourself discovering the contrasts of the beautiful Mediterranean and exotic Arabia on the Costa Smeralda for just 36,999 Rand per person, then be sure to head over to imagineholidays.co.za, or you can call right now 0861 777-245, where one of their consultants is waiting to take your call. You deserve this. We haven't had a holiday in so long. Think about this. That's the 21st of October next year, or in October next year. And I really recommend that you do this one for not just you, your whole family. They deserve it as well. Unbelievable. Wow.
Listen, while we are all excited for our future plans, we are going to take our palates on a journey this morning with our 100% non-alcoholic Sangria, yes, made with 100% crush goodness. It is a cranberry and orange Sangria. It's going to be filled with limes, fruit zesty. Gee, I think I'm going to need some help with this one, because honestly, your mouth is going to be watering after all of this. I just want you to smell all the fresh flavors coming your way.
This is a pop of fresh. The colors look really funky. That's like a work of art there. I've been thinking now of taking international holidays and summer in another country. And I like the idea of this.
You do.
Absolutely. Okay, so take a sip. How do we start?
So we have our tea over here. So this is a bit warm, but we're just going to open this up, and then we're going to throw our sugar in. The sugar is obviously the most important, because you want
a little bit of sweet. And I mean, you could throw in another kind of sweetener option if you want.
Absolutely. And then some cinnamon sticks, and then you're obviously going to let this cool. You can have this overnight, or once it's chilled,
let it seep and let those flavors in.
Absolutely. And then you can obviously cut your fruit, and you can go crazy with the fruit. I mean, look at all the beautiful fruit that we have.
I love
there.
it. It just looks beautiful, man.
Some cranberries.
So what is this called? I missed the first 5 seconds.
Sangria. It's a cranberry and orange sangria, 100% fruity, refreshing. It's just beautiful for that, that summer day. Coming out to spring.
I promise you, summer will return 100%. Summer days will be upon us, and you're going to be loving the heat, but you're going to need something to refresh you.
There we go. So we're just going to put that.
Okay, so we're going to pretend that that's been kind of steeping overnight.
Absolutely. There you go. So that's going to stay overnight, obviously, however you want to do it. We'll have the one over here.
Because you want the fruit to kind of absorb 100% goodness. You want it to really draw out all of the beautiful flavors.
And of course, the hero of this, our 100% cranberry juice going in over there.
And this really is, I mean, it's not just a little bit refreshing, it's 100% refreshing, which I think...
There you go, and then the orange going in.
Is the win here.
And it's good for us as parents, like if you want to have a Saturday vibe, you don't want to... And then this is my best spot, because this is where like the fruit will obviously just like soak it all in, and you're just going to pop that in.
Just pops.
There we go.
So we've got some lemon, we've got some orange.
Let that sit, and some
bit
lime.
of lime.
But now, obviously, this is going to stay overnight.
Okay,
we are going to put the ice blocks in over here.
Okay.
And then this is the one that Nicole made already.
You can see how those...
She probably...
How the fruit is like absorbed the flavor. And...
Absolutely. Okay. And then we're just going to...
Other way, other way.
Oh. You see, do not try this at home.
I knew there had to be a reason why I was here.
You say me. Okay, we ready? Okay. Let's go. Look at that.
Beautiful.
It screams spring, right?
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna throw that in. So it's like a nice little slushy.
Oh, beautiful.
And then we can obviously just add in.
Oh, so we're going to have layers.
Layers.
I love that. There's froth, there's deliciousness.
And voila.
Oh.
Wait for it.
Oh, yeah. It looks beautiful, and we use our reusable straw. And gorgeous.
Voila.
Who gets to taste it?
Who gets to taste it?
Come on.
I'll taste it.
100%, it's yours. Sangria is a revelation. This is a great take on a classic. Now, not just is it 100% tasty and refreshing, but it's also stacked with 100% goodness, courtesy of the crush. And
it is so refreshing.
Describe it to me.
So tasty.
I'm not tasting it.
100% refreshing. I am going to probably take this home with me. Like, everyone's going to get it. Everyone that's coming to my house this weekend.
I imagine it's amazing. I imagine that it's the best drink that you've ever had.
Get your 100% fresh, tasty, fruity, and refreshing goodness with Crush.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
Looking for fantastic health and weight loss benefits without a lifestyle change or being on a diet? Well, Shapeline 50 Billion from Proven Probiotics is the first ever probiotic to offer scientifically proven weight loss, while at the same time boosting immune and digestive health. That's why we think Shapeline 50 Billion may well be the world's most effective probiotic. Available at Dis-Chem and Clicks.
welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show. Oh, it's all about the money. It's all about the prize. It's all about all the excitement and all the feel-good. Of course, here's the question for you. Is a new queen-size bed, fridge, washing machine, or smartphone perhaps an item on your wish list that you've been daydreaming about? Have you been? Well, that's the question, but the year is not 2000 and daydream because this particular wish could be a reality tomorrow morning, as one lucky viewer is going to be spinning our virtual wheel of prizes to stand a chance to win one of these big ticket items. And guess what? Tomorrow's the day.
It is the day. This lucky viewer could be you when you sign up to Buy Smart today. So you'll not only get rewarded with points on all your purchases, but also go into our weekly prize draw. So let's take a look at how exactly you can sign up today and win big with us here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Buy smart and get rewarded for your shopping choices. Who wouldn't love the opportunity to win big weekly prizes when buying some of your favorite Tiger brand products? Get rewarded with points and so much more. During the month of September, subscribe to Buy Smart where you shop for your household staples. All you have to do is SMS HI on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278 and follow the steps from Buy Smart. Upload a photo of your till slip when you buy Tiger Brands products. Earn points for your purchases. Your points can unlock rewards ranging from airtime and fast food vouchers to movie tickets and shopping vouchers. It's quick and easy, and you can sign up on the go. Just open your camera and scan the QR code to get the link to sign up. Or save 072-897-6278 as a contact and send HI on WhatsApp and follow the steps to sign up to Buy Smart.
Have it, man. So all you have to remember is to send HI on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278. Follow the steps and just open your camera and scan the QR code to get the link to sign up. It really couldn't be easier. And don't forget that this month you stand a chance of winning epic weekly prizes when you sign up as well. A queen-size bed, a fridge like Charlotte did last week, a washing machine and a smartphone, all up for grabs. And all the terms and conditions can be found, as always, on expressoshow.com. Here's that QR code one more time. Sign up today to stand a chance of winning one of those cool weekly prizes in our draw. And who knows, it could be you spinning our virtual wheel of prizes tomorrow morning live on the show. All the best of luck.
Of course, walking away, we're a big winner with Buy Smart. Get rewarded for your shopping choices with Buy Smart. Send HI on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278 and follow the steps. You will stand a chance of winning incredible prizes weekly on Expresso. Good luck, guys.
Absolutely, but please do join us for an extra dose of Expresso at 11:30 to 12 today, where we focus on spring cleaning your life. It's going to be a jam-packed show.
The boys are taking over from 11:30 to 12 right here on SABC3. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an amazing show. We'll see you a little bit later.
11:30. It's a date. Clover has been part of our South African heritage for over 120 years and wishes you all a happy Heritage Month. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.